Alright folks, it's been a while since I've done anything arcade related on this channel, a few months in fact, and it's not for lack of interest, but I've been sort of running out of time over the summer. I was working on a project. I'll show you in a minute, but I thought first video of 2022 I'll probably do a quick update video of where are things at with the arcade, what games we have in there, what projects are coming up, and all that kind of stuff. There's videos coming up on this channel coming back. It's just, yeah, since pretty much the summer I've been just busy working on the house and on things around the house and the other channel, so it's been kind of hard. And I've been very focused as well on my Eurorack synthesizer stuff. You've seen some of the updates on this channel, so yeah, that took a lot of time. So yeah, I mean, something has to give if you account for a full-time job as well, and the arcade projects took a break. But here is what essentially I've been working on this summer, was re-roofing this shed. If you remember, I did a video about just putting a cement pad and emptying those shed. This is my wood shed, and I needed an area to work on wood and anything dusty, metal wood and all that kind of stuff. So work on cabs will probably, for the wood part, be done here, and it'll free a lot of space as well at some point. This is what's been done here essentially. So it's I've used it already, started using it. It's pretty great to have that space to work in. And then I've made this space. Yeah, so there you go. I didn't document that. I had some small bits of video on my French speaking vlog, but I just wanted to get it done over the summer. I didn't get a chance to document that. There wasn't much to document. It was mostly just sort of re-roofing this whole part, which was a bit of a pain because a lot of the wood is non-standard length, so I just had to join stuff together one way or another, however I could. But it's done now, and it's going to be very handy. So let's start with what we have here already. We still have the Outrun, of course, running the Smarty Pie. I love this thing. I love this cab. It's probably my favorite cab. My two favorite cabs would probably be Outrun and the Arkanoid one. If I'm honest, they'll be the last one I sell, if I ever sell any of them. I have Crazy Kong here in a Donkey Kong Cabaret that it was a scrap build. Made this myself using plans and experimenting a bit on things as well, but using plans of the original Donkey Kong Nintendo Cabaret cab. Lovely form factor. I love this little cab actually, and yeah, it's holding up well. There's no coin door. I'm actually just using a button here. Oh yeah, the other thing I did was actually put a backlight where the marquee is. Normally there's no backlight there. It's actually straight to the wood, but I think it looks cool with a backlight. Quite catchy actually. You hear it here with Puzzle Bobble. This was a big century cab. I think these were Chinese made, kind of candy cab like, but a lot cheaper in their manufacturing and build. But it's sturdy enough, it's holding well, and I actually really like it. I think it's a nice form factor. It's about the size of a standard Woody cab, and I converted this into a Neo Geo. It's running a real Neo Geo. There's a few cards I change every now and then. Metal Gear, Soccer Brawl, and Neo Turf Master or something like that. Yeah. Here I have my old well, it's not Double Dragon. It was a poker cab conversion that I converted to a Double Dragon. I had Double Dragon running for the longest time. It was a bootleg board until I decided to change the game in it a few times, and I since sold the board because I could play Double Dragon on anything like a Raspberry Pi or something like that. But since then I've put a Fab MSX MSX board, FPGA. It's hard to see, but it's right here. It's an FPGA board that runs pretty much an MSX, and it uses original card. You can see the card sitting on top here, and right now I'm just running Nemesis 2, which is Gradius 2, which is a cool shooter for the MSX, but I change the games regularly here. It's pretty handy. Galaga, one of my first cabs, along with Outrun and Arkanoid, still running well, still doing fine. I love this game as well, actually. And here we got Asteroid. Asteroid is down. The board is fine. It's just the monitor gave, and I think it's the high voltage diode in it. But other than that, it's holding well. It was quite the restoration job, this one. It was so dirty and grimy and filthy. But again, I think every single board had a problem, from the power supply down to the main board, the monitor, and the audio amplifier board. Everything had a problem. So it was down for real. Arkanoid here, which is a Dig Dug cab that had been converted to Arkanoid, and I initially wanted to replace to put Dig Dug back in here and convert or use all the parts for Arkanoid for another game or for another cab. And then I was like, do I really want to play Dig Dug? And then this was, I don't know, it stayed like that for ages, and I kind of like it. I kind of like the fact that it's a conversion, and it's an original Dig Dug. So essentially I have two cabs in one here. I have Arkanoid and Dig Dug. I can claim that, I think. Bomb Jag, this was a conversion from a Noro poker game, and I like the form factor of these cabs. I think they make a lovely little conversion. It's very cabaret-like. In fact, beside is the Pac-Man Cabaret, which was another job and a half, and this is even smaller. So yeah, there's something about that size that is great. I had about 3 of these. I had a Kung Fu Master 1942 and Bomb Jack. I sold the other 2 because I realized I wasn't playing them much, but Bomb Jack, I absolutely love this game. It's a great game, so I decided to keep that. Pac-Man, like I said, this was another big conversion, and another big one was this Outrun, Turbo Outrun, which was a Rad Mobile cabinet, and initially, and it's not running. Beautiful artwork, Turbo Outrun. And again, I love this game. It's not as good as a game as the original Outrun, but it's pretty decent, and it's definitely got Outrun vibes, I think. So yeah, this one is a keeper, and I think it's a beautiful cab. Absolutely beautiful cab. Yeah, it's a busy space here. It's not very big, and there's a lot of stuff. Anyway, let's go have a look at the next project. Alright, so pending projects. We still have this power drift that I got a while back. If you remember the video when I got this with another cab. This is complete. I have everything. I've a monitor for it. There's a pedal was missing here. I have a spare pedal now. I'm just missing the marquee art. They had put, whoever had it, just put this blanking piece of plastic. Look at that, with the washers. I mean, it would have looked horrendous. Look at that. Look at that. Stupid. And it destroyed some of the stuff. So yeah, there's quite a bit. It's all there, but there's a bit of work. All the mechanics are here, shifter and everything. I mean, if this was gone, this would be a problem. Outrun shifters are rare, but this one is even more rare. Look at that. There's a piece of rope here stuck in there. What the? It needs some. This is so tacky. Missing a button, but I think I have a spare one somewhere. I have a handy parts drawer there. So yeah, I will need the artwork as well for that. But I think Ollie has all the artwork, but I'm not sure if he has the marquee. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see there. Chase HQ, great cab, great game. Love Chase HQ. It's a toss-up really between Outrun and Chase HQ for a lot of people. My preference is Outrun, but I know my friend Terrible Fire prefers Chase HQ to Outrun. The fool. it's all there. Again, I have a spare monitor for it. Everything, including this breaks easily on a lot of cabs because it's not as there's no edge to it, so it's just a straight piece of wood from underneath, so they tend to really snap and get damaged. But everything is there. Again, the shifter is here, handy, because this would be rare. The wheel, it's a free spinning wheel. It's a 360 wheel. It doesn't have any kind of spring or anything like that, so it feels a bit loose. I think maybe that's why I prefer a game like Outrun that has all that heaviness and spring back tension in the wheel. I don't know, but this is an opto wheel type of stuff, like Arkanoid. Very exactly. Actually, I think it's the same board. I feel the game deserves a better steering mechanism anyway. And pedal is there. It's all working. The board is here. I was told it's working. I haven't tried it or tested it. Doesn't really matter. I'll probably put some form of Raspberry Pi solution. I know the Smarty Pi can run. I can run Chase HQ now in an Outrun cab, but it's programmed and designed for the custom controlled stuff. Is for pots, not an opto wheel. So I don't know how well it'll behave on that. I might try it, give it a try, and see what happens. Maybe make a small converter for the pinouts, because the pinout is an Outrun on the Smarty Pi, and see if I can somehow jerry this into this. I'll have to see if the signal, as well as reads properly, because I doubt it'll work. I think the MAME handles pots and opto wheels differently. Maybe I need to talk to Martin about that. Anyway, we'll see. But that's coming up as well, project. Before all of that, I want to get these things running. So this is the test one. I'll dismantle that at some point. But essentially what I'm doing here, I'm doing a lot of tests. I have a board that converts, well, let me start. I'm putting a PC here that will be running MAME and the System 1 and 2 emulators, as well as the PC version of Outrun 2006. And I've got myself these two boards from, I forget your name. I'm really sorry, I forgot your name. Is it here somewhere? Agonite or something like that. But that makes these boards. So this is essentially just a plug-in board. It takes all the original harness, so you don't need to destroy anything. It takes the original harness in your cab, and then you need to solder the connection to this board. That will there's a small FPGA Arduino type of stuff that will convert that for your PC. All the input signals and all that kind of stuff, all the lights. So it'll be handled by that, and importantly, the force feedback. Plug that into your PC. There's a program you download that goes with it as well. But essentially, it's like a JPEG, but just far better, and it'll convert all the inputs and outputs to be recognizable by MAME or anything like that. So it's a bit of work. It's simple enough, but it's just a bit of work. It takes most of the original boards, so you can keep obviously all your power supply. You just need to replace the driver board with one from was that Outrun 2006. But you can keep all the amps and that kind of stuff. And essentially, it's a replacement for these boards that fail, and they're just so hard to troubleshoot. And yeah, so it's essentially a replacement for these boards. So yeah, so that's the plan next. Get that working here as a test, and then I have a proper clean cab that I've scavenged for. I had two of these cabs, so I've scavenged a good proper clean one that doesn't have any cracks, that has a proper wheel, proper shifter, and all that kind of stuff. That's going to go in there. I have a converter board, so I can keep using the CRT. Quality won't be as crisp and good, but because this is VGA, and I want to use that on a CGA CRT, or I have the option of putting an official proper arcade LCD screen that would simplify a lot of things. So I'll try, see if I can, if I'm happy enough with the result of the video with this converter board. Still Chinese converter boards, but they do an okay job. The other solution would be to get a dedicated video card that outputs the right signal, but I don't want to do that. The whole point is to have a platform. Hey Fiona! Yo! To have a platform that is, or to have a solution that's platform agnostic, so that can run MAME, and I can change the PC regardless of what's in the PC. Because if I start using dedicated video cards that aren't made anymore, I might as well use the original hardware, and I don't want to do that. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff flying around at the moment. It's all System 3 stuff. I've sold the original boards that there was one good one that worked most of the summer and it died eventually. It's all right. I had a good time playing Scud Race, and it went to people that needed them. So the other thing I have is those sound boards that I use on Scud Race that I don't quite need, so I might put that for sale at some point. The other thing I have is those power supplies for System 3 that I don't need. I'm putting a PC in there, so I just need a sturdy PC power supply. So that's all gonna go at some point. And up there is a ton of monitors and projects, and yeah. Let's go have a look. So this is my section here. This is Fiona's section, but this is my section here, and yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff. I have, at this stage, I reckon I have enough original outrun parts. Pedals are over there. That's the steering wheel. I've got a dashboard. Got bezels and all this stuff. Enough outrun parts to probably make a scratch cab. So we might do that at some point and make a. This is for a mini outrun mini cab. So make a scratch outrun mini cab. That would be a cool project, actually. Yeah, we might do that. Ton of spare chassis that I will need to put for sale at some point too, because I don't need that many. I'll keep a few spare for parts, but I need to put those for sale. We got a MTC, what are they, Antarex 9000, Polo 3. We got some, yeah, these are all Polo 3, Antarex Polo here. I got a couple. I don't have any cabs that have these, so I don't think I need to hang on to them. These are 25 inch as well, and I think these were taken from stuff like you know, Mortal Kombat and you know, those type of cabs anyway, midway cabs. They use those Polos quite a bit. Don't really need them, so I might have boxes of them. Might put some for sale, make some space. But I have spare monitor 19 inch for those two cabs downstairs, and a few spare. These are all working now. 14 inch tubes, 9 inch tubes, another 9 inch tubes. There goes my my light. Yeah, more 14 inch working. I've Naomi parts here that I salvaged from the raid, and I was going to keep them as spares. This I want to keep. My plan was to actually to make a Net City. So I salvaged a lot of Naomi parts, but I don't really plan on having another driver cab, so I probably don't need that. I might need to put that for sale as well at some point. I'll see. This is from like it would suit a game like Crazy Taxi or all those Naomi games. But yeah, I have quite a bit of gear here and a lot of projects still, so there's no shortage of that for the channel. Moving on through this section here, which is our gym, but this is where I will be putting, at least for now, this is where I will be putting, at least for now, the sit down cab that I slowly am restoring. I fixed all the plastic, if you remember, for this guy, proper wheel, proper shifter, original shifter, resprayed and cleaned all the metal here. Same here, just there was so many cracks on this thing, but it was the best condition one, so I fixed all the cracks and resprayed and gave it a nice coat of lacquer, so it's nice and shiny and clean. So this is going to be the final cab, and the other one I'll probably dismantle, keep in storage or for spare parts, or maybe sell them on as well. I don't need two of these big cabs if I'm realistic. Anyway, and here we have still the Crazy Taxi and the White Waters. These aren't going anywhere anytime soon. This would be a great space for an arcade, but it's our gym. We both use it. I think my unspoken plan right now, and I just need to convince Fiona that this is a good idea, is for me to dismantle this pallet shed, which was where I used to make my surfboards, but now I can use this space to make it. So this doesn't quite need to exist anymore, and it's in fact falling apart. Really, Ivy's taken over. It lasted me for a while, and it was good when it lasted. But yeah, it's pretty derelict now inside, and I think it's time this year to take it down. It's quite a feature, but it's time to take it down and use this space for something else. And I think that something else could be a smaller version of that, maybe half that I could put here, and we could use that for our gym, and I can use that for the arcade space. I just need to convince you that it's a good idea. Another thing that could do with a review as well is this drawer. I have a ton of these new old stock flybacks for monitors that I don't really have myself, like 9000 Polo 20. What was this for? San 21E 315, things like that. Might put these Wells Gardner K8000 25 inch. I have none of these monitors. And what was that for? Wells Gardner 25, yeah, U5000, is that it? Or 8000? Yeah, I got a lot of these guys. These are brand new. They don't have the box, but I have a ton of boxed ones as well, and I haven't even documented what these were for. So I need to review all that. Tons of these coils as well. Need to review all that. So maybe keep ones for the monitors I have and put the other ones for sale or trade. That wouldn't be a bad thing. I have a few of these wheels. I'm not sure what this is for. If you know what this is for, let me know. It's a three-pronged wheel. Was this what was this for? I'm not sure. Sega wheel, but here is a different it's a keyed sort of for a keyed shaft, so I'm not sure what it was this for. Was this for an outrun? It's definitely not, doesn't fit any of the cabs I have, including those Naomi ones, the Crazy Taxi and these driver ones. It's different locking yet again. Yeah, gear shift for repair, this one, but I might keep it for parts for the other one and sell the other one. I've all these pedals, gear shift for outrun. You need to keep that, but all these pedals, maybe keep them for a test rig. Do I really need to? I have this joystick that I found and I can't find. If you know what this is for, can't find what type of game it would have been on. It's a Sega joystick. Well, it would have been on the Sega cab, and but typically they would have two buttons, and this one button is all blocked out. So this would have been for a game with one button that needed one of those joysticks. They're not especially cheap, these guys. I've kept it for that long. It's probably time to move it on. And I mean, I have a box of these leaf switch. I've replaced a lot of the cabs I had that would have had leaf switches, had micro switches, so I've replaced them back with leaf switches from this stock. I probably don't need, I don't know, there's probably 40 of them in this, and I have more than that They're mostly, I have a few different colors, but they're mostly red, blue and green. Stuff like yellow and white I need to keep for my existing cabs just as a replacement, but the other ones I might need to put for sale at some point as well. And if I put them for sale, folks, it'll be on UK Vax, mostly, because that's sort of where the nearest buyers are for me. Here, tons of speakers, don't quite need them. This was in a maximum force, I think. Yeah, I have an ISO transformer. I need to keep that as a test. But I have all these are Outrun amp boards. I have a few of these, and I'm not sure how I ended up with them. I think it was a raid again, and I spotted those. And yeah, I need to hang on to these. But I've stuff like that for guns, for Sega games that I really don't need. So yeah, I need to review all that. Oh, this is a volume control board for Outrun again. Again, I need to keep that for my if I want to make that scratch build. Anyway, folks, that's about it. I just wanted to touch base, show you where the projects were at, what was coming up, and just let you know I haven't lost interest in the hobby or forgotten about this channel. Just life sometimes, you know. I have another raid plan, hopefully at least one this year. So we'll see where that goes. We just had one. Well, a friend did it on our behalf. It was cool. He was just updating us live on what was there. So I have a few more parts and more chassis coming. So that's why I need to sell some. But chassis for the cabs I have, so that's going to be very useful. So I'll probably the reason I didn't repair any more of the chassis I have is they're not for any cabs I own, and so testing them would be awkward, and then yeah, the incentive just wasn't there. So I might just move them on, get those new chassis, and see if I can fix them on video. That'll be a thing. At least for me, it'll be more of an incentive. It'll be more interesting because they're more common chassis too. So we'll see, and other parts coming as well, and then hopefully some form of raid. We'll see. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Happy New Year, and stay tuned.